Hey, what's up? I am Sam, and welcome to my Origami Dojo. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make the hat that I wore in the most uninteresting YouTuber parody video that I made a couple years ago. So we're going to start with a 12-sided flower tower. You can find the link to the tutorial for that in the description below. It's designed by Chris Palmer. It's a very neat model. A little difficult, but I recommend you check it out. Anyway, so what we want to do is have one that, first of all, has the colored side on the inside, and second of all, has at least 3 levels. I'm just going to show you one with 2, but if you want a really nice hat, you should do 3. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to turn over and just unfold it. We're going to take the 2 edges here and just pull them apart, and then just keep pulling until we get to this dot down here. And then we just want to push from underneath, just pop that out, like so. And now our hat is looking pretty 3D. Now what we want to do is just round out the hat a little bit so that it doesn't have these corners here, so it's not so square and it's a little bit more like a dodecagon. Now ideally, you should fold the flower tower from a dodecagon, but if not, we'll just turn over to the white side here, and we're going to make a fold. We're going to find this diagonal crease here, and then find the next diagonal over, and we're just going to keep our finger at this point here, at the next crease. We're just going to take this corner and fold it up so that this crease hits the crease underneath. So when we're done, and we only need to crease as far as that first diagonal. So when we're done, it should look something like this. And now we're just going to unfold, rotate slightly, and do the same thing on this side. First, find the diagonal, then find the next point, or find 2 points over, so we're just going to find this one and then this one, and then pivot up and fold so that this crease lines up with the crease underneath, and it should look something like this. And then we want to do that once more for each corner of the square. So we'll do it here, just fold up. I'm just going to show you an abbreviated version since I'm sure we have better things to do. Just kidding, we don't. Now, as I said before, ideally you should fold this model from a dodecagon, because that way you won't have to end up cutting your origami model, but I guess what we're just going to do for this time is just fold the flaps out of the way. So we're going to fold up on one of the existing creases here, and we're just going to extend that crease out completely, and we're going to fold this corner in on the existing crease, and you're going to have to fold across this flap here. It'll make a slightly new crease there. And then what we're going to do is just reinforce the model's creases on this new flap here. So we're just going to mount and fold behind and just pinch that into place, and then valley fold it over, and then make another fold here. And then if you want, you could just completely refold the model to make sure that all the creases are in the right place and it's not going to give you trouble later on. There we go, that looks pretty good. And now, of course, we just do that on the other 3 sides. And again, feel free to cut these flaps off instead if you don't want to do that, because, honestly, it's not really cutting. That's just turning your square into a dodecagon. Alright, and once we have that, we're just going to turn it back over to the way it was and just pop that button out again to make the hat 3D. And in order to lock it into place, what we need to do is lock the flaps. So, this is actually a lot easier than it sounds. Or maybe not. What we need to do is find this corner here, and we're going to make a crease that runs from this corner out to the edge here. And we're just going to take this mountain fold, and then we're going to reinforce this mountain crease here, and then we're just going to push it over until it pleats. And when you do this crease here should line up with this point here. Now there's no exact guideline for it to line up on, but if it looks like it's pointing at this corner here, then you're on target. And we're just going to crease, and I'll show you again since that wasn't very clear. So what we do is we make a crease that runs from this point to this edge here, and it's at an angle. And we just pleat using this mountain fold here. So we're going to pinch the mountain fold into shape and just push this over like that. And then we're going to turn over and make sure that this crease lines up with that point there. And crease, and there we go. Now we just need to do that on the other 11 sides. So we'll just take this mountain fold here and pleat over at an angle, and then again we need to find this point here and make sure the line hits the edge there, and then turn it over and line it up. Oh, and another thing we need to do before I forget is to take this flap here and just fold it over so that edge meets edge, and then we're going to unfold and then just fold it back behind to lock it. And then again, we're going to do the same thing on that previous one we made just to catch up. We're going to fold it over, edge to edge there. And then we're going to unfold and mountain fold it behind. And then once we do that, let's go around the rest of the flower tower. When we're done, our hat should look like this, just like it did, kind of like it did, in the most uninteresting YouTube video. I also put the link for that in the description, but really, watch it at your own risk. If you can make it through the whole thing, you're pretty brave, because that thing's awful. And one other thing, if you want a hat that you can wear on your head, you should probably fold it from a square of at least 20 inches. And of course, fold it from a really heavy paper. If you fold it from origami paper like I did in this tutorial, it's just gonna blow off your head. In the most uninteresting YouTuber video, what I did was I used that heavy brown packing paper, like a shipping paper or whatever that you wrap packages in before you ship them. It held up pretty well, and I folded that thing a couple years ago. Anyway, if you enjoyed the tutorial, please feel free to subscribe and check out the other tutorials on my channel. I am Sam, and I will see you next time.